Welcome to the first video in our first generation student support series. This series is specifically tailored to supporting first gen students here at San Diego City College. Today's video will focus on tips for student success. Before we jump in, let me introduce myself. My name is Sarah, my pronouns are she, her, and I am a professional clinical counseling intern here at the City College Mental Health Counseling Center, housed within the Student Health Center. I am also a first generation college student myself. So, with that, let's jump in. I wanted to start off by sharing an interesting statistic with you. Did you know in 2015 and 2016, 56% of college students in the US identified as first generation? And it's safe to assume that since then, this number has continued to grow. Something significant to notice here is that this means a majority of students identify as first gen, more than 50%. I know I often feel alone as a first gen student, like no one else can understand what I'm going through or the struggles I'm experiencing. So, this statistic was a great reminder that not only am I not alone, but I'm part of the majority of college students. And so are you as first gen students. So, today we're going to cover 4 different topics and tips for first generation students. We will be looking at exploring options, student wellness, choosing a major, and setting goals. Let's start with exploring options. During your time at City College, there are many ways to explore involvement and meet people outside of classes. This can support you both in feeling more connected to the campus community and also get clarity on what your interests are. So, how exactly do we explore options? I first want to acknowledge that at the time of this recording, the COVID-19 pandemic is still impacting us. Some of these suggestions may be limited or impacted by the pandemic as well, but please don't let that discourage you. Many events and student organizations have adapted to virtual settings. If you're watching this recording post pandemic, woohoo! Feel free to disregard this message. I just wanted to be intentional to acknowledge it up front. So, the first way to explore options at City College is by attending an event. Various departments, hubs, and student groups host both virtual and in person events each term. At the Student Health Center, for example, we host multiple workshops, support groups, and processing spaces that are open to members of the City College community. To get connected with these events or any other events at City, check out the City College website or social media pages. A second way to explore at City is to get connected to the campus's cultural and community hubs housed in the L building. These hubs are a newer addition to the campus that focus on building community amongst our City College community here. There are hubs for women, LGBTQIA, dreamers, and there's even a first gen hub, along with many other cultural based and community hubs. A final way to explore options at City involves getting plugged into a student organization. There are over 20 active student organizations here at City College that cover a variety of interests and identities, ranging from French to music to science to mental health and more. There's a list of active student organizations linked below in the video notes for you to check out. This may seem like a roll your eyes cliche slide, but there is nothing more important than remembering to have fun while exploring. College can be a stressful time, especially as a first generation student, having so much to balance and navigate, and it can feel overwhelming at times. However, it's also a time to have fun and learn about ourselves through the process. As I shared in the previous slide, there are so many ways to get involved with campus life here at City College. I'd like to recommend trying something new. Who knows what you'll find out you end up enjoying? The next tip we're going to explore is student wellness and why it matters, particularly for us as first generation students. Wellness is important for everyone, but it's especially important to maintain while you are in college. As first generation college students, we tend to have a lot of things going on in our lives at once. Wellness is important because it supports balance with the chaos of being a student. Wellness also improves both short and long term health. Stress can have a major impact on our health, so this one is especially important. And finally, wellness is important to college students because it builds confidence and self esteem. When we take care of ourselves, we tend to feel much better. One way to support your own wellness is by creating a wellness plan. This gives you a laid out strategy and something to come back to support your overall well being. Here, I've listed some questions to consider when developing your plan. What helps you manage your stress? How can you build self care into your days? How do you take care of your physical health? How can you prepare to work on a big assignment or study for an exam? What are your needs? And how can you prioritize them? Feel free to pause the video if you want to spend some time reflecting now and developing your own wellness plan. You can also take a screenshot and come back to these questions later. Speaking for myself, I know having a wellness plan has been a saving grace for me in times of significant stress. And making a plan to care for yourself when you are not feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or burnt out is so much easier than trying to come up with solutions in those heightened emotional moments. After making your wellness plan, let us know how it went for you in the comments below. Now that we've discussed wellness, let's talk about one of the most stressful and exciting parts of college: choosing a major. Choosing a major can feel overwhelming, maybe even more so for us first gen students who are the first to pursue higher education in our families. I know for myself, I actually changed my major twice before eventually settling in to get my bachelor's degree in human services. Maybe if I would have had some of these tips, I could have saved myself some time. So let's jump in. Tip one is to consider your interests and passions. What excites you? What interests you? What lights you up? This is a great place to start when choosing your major because you're choosing something that's actually of interest to you rather than picking a major because of outside pressures or what you think you are, quote, supposed to do. Secondly, consider your strengths. What are you already good at? Or what are you currently building your skills in? Picking a major that will allow you to utilize your strengths will set you up for success. Third is educate yourself on your options. Do you know all the majors that are available at City College or the school you hope to transfer to? There are so many fields of study, many that you may not have even heard of. So, learning about your options can help to make sure you find the perfect fit for you. Once you know what options are available, you can take introductory courses to explore your different interests. Intro courses are a great way to get your feet wet in a subject to see if you're interested before committing to a full on degree program. The biggest tip I can recommend here is getting support from an academic counselor. Here at City College, our academic counselors are available to meet with students both in person and virtually during the COVID-19 pandemic to support you. They can help you not only pick out a major, but make sure you've got all the classes you need and help you prepare for transferring to university if that's something you're working towards. You can schedule an appointment with them online. The last two tips are related to tapping into other social resources. Researching career opportunities for majors that you're interested in is a great way to know what job prospects are available once you graduate. Additionally, you can talk with others about their majors, ask them questions about their selection process and their experience in their studies and what their plans are after graduation. The final tip we will review together today is setting goals. While balancing so many responsibilities as first gen students, it can be helpful to have goals to support us in navigating our academic journeys. So, why set goals? Well, for one, they can provide a short term motivation to get through difficult tasks. Maybe there's a paper for class you've been dreading working on, but if you set the goal to finish it before 5 p.m. so that you can enjoy a relaxing evening with your roommate and cat, that could provide some incentive to get the paper done. Goals can also give us a sense of purpose. They remind us that we're doing things that matter. Having this sense of purpose can also be a great defense against certain mental health challenges like anxiety and depression. Setting goals can help us get clarity on what matters most. It's unlikely that we would feel inspired to set a goal related to something that wasn't important to us, right? The goals we set are a reflection of our priorities and what means the most to us. And finally, setting goals can help us develop our long term vision. For many of us first gen students, we may have a longer term vision that involves obtaining our degree or entering a certain career. Having a long term vision helps us to stay the course, even when things get challenging. Okay, let's talk SMART goals. SMART goal setting is an amazing tool when setting goals, as it allows us to get clear on what we are working towards and how we will measure success. The word SMART is an acronym, so let's go through each of the letters with an example goal. The S stands for specific. Create a specific goal. An example of this could be I will finish 3 pages of my paper by Sunday night. M is for measurable. This goal is measurable because we are identifying how much homework will be completed, in this case, 3 pages. A is for attainable. It is helpful to set goals for ourselves that are realistic. Saying I will finish an entire semester's worth of homework in a week is not realistic. Is the goal to finish 3 pages realistic for you? R is for relevant. Is this goal relevant to things that are helpful to you? Chances are, if you're trying to pass your English class, finishing this paper is relevant to you. And finally, T for time bound. Setting a time frame for a goal can be extremely helpful. In our example goal of I will finish 3 pages of my paper by Sunday night is the time frame, right? It gives us a specific time frame in which to complete this goal. Hopefully, this overview of SMART goals will help you in your own goal setting. If you're feeling inspired, feel free to pause this video here to work on setting some SMART goals right now, or you can screenshot this slide and revisit it later. And with that, that wraps up the first video of the First Gen support series. I hope you found this video helpful and are feeling more confident in navigating your time here at City College as a First Gen student. We'd love to hear from you in the comments with any feedback, what was most helpful, or what you'd like to see in future videos. Be sure to follow our Mental Health Counseling Center's YouTube page to stay in the loop on future videos in the series and other topics related to mental health and student support. Thanks for watching.